All right, grab your Bibles. Week 3 today in our July SELAH through the Psalms. Before we hit the New Testament, coming August 10th, okay? We're going to announce next week which books will be in this fall. Okay, got to build the hype a little bit, right? So we'll share that next week. But first, 2 more weeks slowing down in the Psalms. Something that's not slowing down in 2025 right now is sports drinks. Yeah, last year we spent, believe this or not, $12.6 billion on those bright-colored alternatives to water, okay? Dozens and dozens of brands, all trying to claim that they are the ultimate thirst quencher. But if you Google that, one's going to rise above them all from marketing to market share. Pages and pages, you will see of one thing. Y'all know it. It's Gatorade, right? There it is, all 42 flavors, from Arctic Blitz to Riptide Rush to Extremo Mango Electrico, right? Or as we call them in Oklahoma, the blue one, the purple one, or the orange one, right? Gatorade is king, and it has been for decades. I mean, they have pulled the top athletes from all over the globe: Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Lionel Messi, all of them, you name it. It doesn't matter the sport. From marathons to curling, they're drinking Gatorade, right? Which is a great sell tactic. I mean, if it's in them, is it in you, right? Or coaches, is it on you, right? Like we know the Gatorade bath. But let me ask for a moment. Does Gatorade actually quench your thirst? I mean, I know it says it on the bottle, right? So it has to be true. But honestly, does it really? So recent research by NFL nutritionists kind of going across the globe, all NFL teams, they found that the vast majority, actually, of all the athletes complained of, quote, sticky mouth, okay? And an upset stomach from drinking Gatorade. They, quote, don't tolerate the drink very well. Interesting, right? Now, some will say, okay, well, that's just the good electrolytes in there, those salts replenishing the body, right? Others are arguing, no, that's the 36 grams of added sugar. Same amount as a Coke or Dr. Pepper, okay? And so others are flagging the artificial sweeteners and the artificial flavors, that red 40 and yellow number 5 that we all love, right? Right? Yeah, is that in you? So others are going, no, this is just how it's designed. It's made so that you would drink way more than you think you need to drink in order to combat the dehydration, okay? So whatever it is, regardless of whether it's good for your body or not, at the end of the day, I think we can all agree it leaves us thirstier. It doesn't actually quench. No one takes one drink of Gatorade and says, I'm good, right? Palate cleansed. I don't care which line, G-Frost, G-Flow, G-Fit, G2, GQ, I don't know, all the G's out there. It doesn't matter. I don't care which athlete is showing me how refreshed they are as they, sip it in the commercial. It doesn't matter. I'm still thirsty. I don't know about you. They've sold me on satisfaction. But there's only one: water, right? So it is with our souls. Deep down, we are thirsty. We're dehydrated. We're desperately searching for something to replenish us, and we will grab whatever we can to try our best to quench that longing in our hearts. This relationship, this purchase, this experience, this promotion or paycheck. If only I had this appearance or this health or this gratification, or this home, or this comfortable lifestyle. And so we chase it down thinking it's going to quench, but at the end of the day, we are still not satisfied. Psalm 63 today is going to parachute us into a desert. David's extremely thirsty. He's in a survival situation, y'all. And the first thing you do in a survival situation, don't worry, I'm an expert, I've watched lots of shows, is you assess the priority of needs. What do I need first? And you rank those, and Psalm 63 is going to give us just that. It's going to show us not only how to survive in the desert, but actually how to be satisfied. Here we go, Psalm 63, the intro, verse 0, if you will, says, a psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. So we actually get a timestamp of David's life here, a geolocation of where he is. And we throw the map up there. He's in the wilderness of Judah, which is southeast of Jerusalem, in between there and the Dead Sea. I mean, you can just look at it and see very, very quickly, this country is not lush. It's not even livable. This is rugged and rocky terrain, okay? Steep ravines, caves, and it's also super dry. And I mean like super dry, like no vegetation in those pictures, right? That's because it gets less than 2 inches of rain a year, y'all. For comparison, the rainforest that is OKC has got 34 inches of rain this year. 14 alone in June, y'all, okay? The wilderness of Judah is a desert. Word, in fact, wilderness in Hebrew just means wasteland, okay? This is Israel's version of the panhandle, right? Just with cliffs and stuff, all right? So why is David there? Oh, well, you remember last week? He's on the run from Saul, okay? Right? This is that whole period of his life where he's not yet king that we talked about him being in the pit, he said. This is that pit. He's writing this song from the pit. And specifically, the wilderness of Judah is one of his main hideouts during 1 Samuel 23 through 26, okay? That's the time period. And in this dry and waterless land, he writes this song, verse 1. Oh God, you are my God. And earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you in a dry and weary land where there's no water. Where does he start? Oh God, you are my God. The God is his God. God's not some vague higher power to David. No, he's personal. This is real relationship. Yahweh is the Lord of my life. It makes me think of when Jacob was wrestling with God. And up until that point in his life, he had just called God his father's God. Okay? But that's the turning point. He surrenders, and now God is his God. Same thing here. David knows God as my God. It's a statement of surrender. Your God, I'm not. And it's a statement of trust. Like I'm looking to you for help. You're my Lord and my Savior. And that's how he begins, this confident way of saying, I trust you. But he's also diligently looking and searching for God. Earnestly, I seek you, he says. He's not phoning it in, y'all. Just going through the motions. Yeah, I need God. No, like he's eagerly, earnestly, like with his whole heart. He's for real. I know I need you. The word in Hebrew, it's just one word, shakar, okay? And it actually means dusk. Dawn, yeah. The first light of day, okay? That kind of like dim, early morning. I don't know about you. I hate 4 or 5 a.m. I see that on the alarm clock. It's just gross, okay? Not a pre-sunrise fan. David's like, I'm up and at 'em. First light, I gotta have you. When I rise, give me Jesus. Well, David doesn't have my to-do list. Okay, David's in a survival state, all right? Like, you think he's chilling, sipping on coconuts? Like, his mind is racing. Like, what's my next move? How am I going to stay alive? I need to get food. And yet, what is he going after first? His God. This is that age-old principle, the one that Jesus himself modeled for us. Like, get up early while it's still dark and be with the Father. Y'all know, like, what we set first in our day has a way of staying first through our day, right? It's how we set our values and declare to our souls, this is what you need most. This is first place. David understood what he really needed. And so, first in his day, literally, earnestly means early, he is seeking the Lord. That's hard when life is difficult, right? When you're hurting, exhausted, confused. When you're in a wasteland of suffering. When you're in a desert of disappointment. Or those addictions are like ravines that just have you trapped. Maybe you're in a cave of grief or despair and just trying to recover, or your marriage feels dry, or your job feels dry, or your finances feel dry, and you got to earnestly seek something. The question is what? What comfort and relief are you running to? What escape are you hiding out in? What appreciation and respect are you chasing? What control to change those circumstances or pleasure to mask that pain? We earnestly seek for what we need. David's saying, I know I need you first. My soul, he says, thirsts for you. Yeah, I need food. Yeah, I need fire. Yeah, I need water, of course. But that same feeling of dehydration, like when your mouth is salivating for a drop, he's saying that's the state of our souls for the Lord. Without you, I'm going to shrivel. You are my water, okay? Pay attention here, because when we think we need comfort, when we're craving relief or peace, what our souls are really crying out for is the Lord. Right? He alone can quench that thirst, and David knows it. He says, it's not just my soul, even my body, my flesh yearns for you or faints for you. Okay? You ever fainted or almost fainted? It's like literally your body is shutting off, right? Like I can't take anymore. I'm so overwhelmed. Off switch. You collapse. David's saying that's where I'm at. My physical strength is so zapped from the desert that even my body is groaning for the presence of God. I love this here. David's helping us see that our body and our soul are interconnected, right? What affects our soul affects our body. And what affects our body affects our soul, right? This is why when you eat food, you're happy. And when you lack it, you're hangry, right? It's why emotional trauma can cause major physiological effects. It's why when you're grieving so hard in sorrow, or you've got a wayward child, you're up at night and can't sleep, or you lose your appetite, or you have physical problems with your heart. It's why coming this morning and singing and being with the church, even for a brief bit, rejuvenates you physically. We are embodied souls. And David is saying in as many ways as he can, I need you, Lord. All of me, body and soul, is desperate for a drink of your presence. Okay, quick pulse check. Do we talk like that? Do we talk to God like that? Like, if we're honest, then that's like kind of seems a bit weird and extreme. I think if modern Christianity rewrote Psalm 63, here's what it would say. Oh God, I casually seek you. My soul sips on your presence. My body is pretty set in a luxurious land where I have very few needs. Sometimes hard to connect with such language because our modern world turns wildernesses into playgrounds. It sets out comfort stations conveniently every few feet to satiate those surface level needs, so we don't even feel how needy we actually are, right? Like I feel this missionally. This is a hard hurdle to cross with people who don't know Jesus. I mean, I can't tell how many times over the past several years with talking with neighbors, like they just don't think they need God. They're good. Bank accounts fine, no major catastrophes in life. Family seems put together at least for now. They haven't crashed and burned yet, and so they're on the river cruise of life, chilling, not knowing that they're headed for the cliff of hell. Like, we have to wake up, and maybe that's your prayer this morning. Like, Lord, wake me up to the wilderness. Help me feel my actual need for you. We are in a wilderness. Exodus reminds us of that, right? We saw it out of Egypt, but not yet in that perfect provision and pleasure of the promised land. Okay? Sometimes we don't know, this old truth, like you don't know God's all that you need until he's all that you have. Maybe today, like, Lord, help me feel the reality of my need. Now, maybe you do. And this language, this yearning, thirsting, craving, like you're already, like, I'm there. This is where I feel the wilderness. Well, then the rest of the psalm is basically a wilderness survival guide. Okay? Verse 2, here we go. So I've looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory. Why is David earnestly seeking the Lord? Yearning, thirsting, crying out for God. Because he knows the power and glory of God. He's experienced it before. He's tasted and seen that the Lord is good. When I wasn't on the run and I was in the sanctuary with God's people, right? And so even though he's blocked from being there now, he turns his cave into a prayer closet. Okay? Because God's not confined to a building in Jerusalem. The God of the sanctuary is God of the desert, and he can meet me right now. I need his power, and I need his glory. Verse 3, I need his love, because your steadfast love is better than life. Y'all, David doesn't just want rescue, he wants relationship. Because he knows that covenant, unfailing, unconditional, never quitting, constant love, always for my good God is what he actually needs. Literally, there's nothing better in life, he says. Now, when someone says that, you perk up, right? Stop sign moment. The Bible is telling us the single greatest thing in all the universe, and we've got to pay attention, right? He's given us his ranking system. In a world of good things, there is one supreme above them all, to be loved by God. To be loved by God, he says, is better than the greatest accomplishments of all my career goals. It's better than that unexplained feeling, those first few seconds you lay hold on your child or grandchild, right? You know how wonderful that moment is? It's better than that kiss at the altar of your bride. It's better than the greatest meal with the greatest friends at the greatest spot with the greatest view. It's better than that. It's better than having all your financial needs covered because your bank account is so full. I mean, think about that for a moment. The rest of your life, you never had to bat an eye at the cost of something. What kind of exhale would that give you? He goes, no, this is better. It's better than the most picturesque home, the most uncontrollable laughter, the most fit and pain-free body. Name the dopamine hit. It's better than the most surreal hike in the Rockies, scuba diving in the Great Coral Reef. Better than the love of a mom or dad or very best friend. You can name the highest form of happiness this side of heaven. David's saying, hands down, this is better. Well, that's just David's dehydration talking, right? It's crazy talking. David? No, he's speaking with clarity and conviction. He says this a lot. Psalm 27:4, one thing I seek. I want to be in your presence. Psalm 42:1, my soul thirsts for God. Psalm 36:7, how precious is your steadfast love. Over and over, almost 100 times in the Psalms, David's going off on the love of God. That love that's mindful of him, that rescues him, that stabilizes him, that forgives him. Oh, how abundant he is. It is, he says. How affectionate and compassionate it is. Like how fierce and strong and protective it is for me. How constant his love endures forever, even when I'm at my worst in my sin. Even when I hide my sin and I'm wallowing in shame and I've turned away from him, he will not turn away from me. That's the love of the Lord. For David, the X factor in life is clear. Desert or no desert. If I have nothing else, then I have what I need. I'm loved by God. I need nothing else. Remember, this isn't being uttered by a man in the palace. Okay? Not lounging on the couch, popping cotton candy grapes in. Okay? Just chilling. No. It's a man that badly needs help. He's literally scraping to survive. And in his echelon of needs, ahead of crying out for actual water or actual food or actual shelter, ahead of even literally breathing itself is being loved by God. And even if I die, and when I die, I have the love of God and nothing can separate me from it. Well, that's a Sunday school answer, Tyler. I mean, David's writing the Bible. He's just saying what he's supposed to. He's in survival mode. Okay? All formalities go out the window when you're eating grasshoppers and sleeping on rocks. Okay? David's not pretending anything. He's raw and real as he always is. Okay? His stripped down soul is saying, no, what I need first is his love. What David's expounding here, catch this, is exactly what the vision of our church is. This is why the well exists, y'all. Jesus is better. We're here so that we would see and say exactly what David sees and says, and we would we would actually mean it. Jesus, you're the real treasure, the best joy, the highest comfort, the deepest peace, the strongest security, the greatest love. Forget the world and give me Jesus. David says, if I have his love, I am satisfied. Verse 5. My soul will be satisfied, like with fat and rich food. What a phenomenal word, sava in the Hebrew, to be filled or saturated. It's that feeling of being content after a hearty meal. That's what David is saying here. Rich, fatty food. That's feast food, right? Which you know he was craving big time, like not nuts and berries, like give me a steak. You guys ever been extremely hungry, like you fasted for like days at a time? If you haven't, maybe you've watched survival shows, like I have, and you've seen people go, days, maybe even weeks without any type of meal, and then they finally catch a fish, like a big one, or like I remember one show, this guy got a musk ox, right? And he's biting into it, and you just instantly see like his body surges with energy. His eyes close, right? And this deep like groan comes out of his chest, like, right? And he's instantly like relaxed, and this contented calm just comes over his body. Have you seen that? You felt something like that? I'm filled. David's saying that's the effect God has on our souls. His quieting, comforting, satisfying love. The Lord is my portion. And this is so powerful for a man who's on the run for his life in the desert to be able to say, right? Powerful. I want to lean into the opposite too, because what he's implicitly saying throughout this psalm is that other things won't satisfy. Okay? Like, they aren't thirst quenchers. That Ecclesiastes word where riches and wealth or work and accomplishments, pleasures, possessions, any fame, family, like even kids, like you name it, won't satisfy. And like we know this personally, right? we pursue these things, even good things, and we hit ceilings. We know this culturally. Like, just name the top person in their field who has at some point ascended those heights and said, didn't satisfy, right? Won the Super Bowl, got that Grammy, made my first 100 mil. What's next? This week, that clip came from the number one golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler. And because I'm a golf fan, we're going to read it, okay? Here's what he said. This, by the way, happens to be a believer. Like, he knows the love of Jesus. And so his identity is not in his freakish success. And here's what he said this week. And it made all the headlines right on the edge of the British Open, which he's probably winning right now. Okay, he says, you get there, you get to number one, and you're like, what's the point? You work your whole life to celebrate winning a tournament for a few minutes. If I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes. You celebrate, hug your family, and then it's like, okay, now what are we going to eat for dinner? Sure, I work hard. Sure, I love playing golf. Sure, it brings tears to my eyes. But at the end of the day, this is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of the deepest places of your heart. This is not the be-all, end-all, most important thing in my life. And he went on to say, when I sit back at the end of the year, try to reflect on things, it's just hard to explain how it doesn't satisfy. It's an unsatisfying venture. I guess what I'm trying to say is this is not the place to look for your satisfaction. Wow. I know he's a Texas Longhorn, but preach, Scotty, preach, okay? He's just saying what David's saying. My soul is only going to be satisfied in you, Lord. David says in Psalm 4:6, in another time of crisis, I love this, the joy that you've given me, my joy, the joy you filled me with is more than they have when their grain and wine abound, okay? You ever had grain abound? You ever had wine abound, right? He's saying like it's better. Knowing your love is better. I know where the spring's at. I know where the bread's at, and that's why he's seeking the Lord. And that's why, verse 3 through 5, he's also praising the Lord. Because your steadfast love is better than life, what? My lips will praise you. I'm going to bless you as long as I live. In your name, I will lift up my hands. My mouth, verse 5, will praise you with joyful lips. Because listen, the one who seeks finds. The one who's satisfied sings. He's praising in the desert. Like, surely we're reading this wrong. I think he's supposed to say, my lips will petition you. My lips will plead with you. Or like some of us in the wilderness, my lips will protest you. Right? Surely that's what he means. No. My lips will praise. This poor man who has nothing in the eyes of the world is rich beyond measure. I've hit the eternal jackpot. Because I have the love of God. Wow. You talk about perspective, right? Like, no matter the occasion, hallowed be your name. You're good. This I will language he uses, it's not so much future tense, like I will later when he rescues me. It's I will like past or like present resolve, like I'm going to do it. No matter what, regardless of my situation, I'm going to praise you. I choose to thank you. I choose to rejoice in you. I choose to give you my words and my worship, to lift up my hands when I can barely even lift my finger. Because I have your love. See, his praise is with his body. It's physically engaged. It's with his mouth. Like it's not private, okay? He's getting vocal. Words are coming out to thank the Lord. And it's with his heart. He's not just reciting lines, playing the religious game. No, he means it. My lips are joyful. And I think it's not an accident to me that he says my soul will be satisfied right in the middle of this barrage about praise. Because worship and satisfaction go together, okay? Listen to this. I worship you because I'm satisfied in you. And we go, yeah, that makes sense, right? I get that. But I think it's sandwiched in the middle because of the inverse too. Catch this. I'm satisfied in you because I'm worshiping you. Okay? You flip that. Because sure, there's times that are easy to praise. Life is good. It's easy to go, yeah, your love is better than life. But there are times, the desert, where we must resolve to praise. Make a conscious choice. I will sing. I will thank. I will rejoice and open my mouth and lift up my hands regardless. And when we do that, we will find that the pipes of our joy open up. As I choose to praise you, then I'm filled with pleasure in you. You catch that? As I fix my eyes on your love, then my soul gets satisfied in your love. Y'all, praise is preaching to your soul. Come on, soul. Wake up, soul. Feel what you're supposed to, soul. Maybe you're sitting there today and you're like, man, I've earnestly sought the Lord, and there's just no breakthrough. I just still don't feel it. I still feel stuck. My heart is flat. I feel distant from God. There's roadblocks. Maybe the way through that dam of indifference and distance is praise. And not to wait till you feel it, but I'm going to sing what's true even when I don't feel what's true. I'm going to call, exhort, and charge my heart to get where it should be. Let's go, soul. He's worthy. So I'm going to grab it and drag it to the well of living water. This is what you're thirsty for. Drink up. That's what David is doing. It's a beautiful thing. So verse 6, he says, when I remember you upon my bed, I meditate on you in the watches of the night, for you've been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy, for my soul clings to you, and your right hand upholds me. Okay, so my soul thirsts for you, right? Get close. My soul, number 2, is satisfied in you. Enjoy that closeness. And now, number 3, my soul clings to you. Stay close. We stick to what satisfies us. Right, married men? You remember when you were dating your wife and you're like, how on earth is she with me? Right? I got something so good. Get a ring on that finger fast. So I'm going to grab a hold and hold on with all that I've got, right? We call that clingy. Clingy, right? Cling. David saying, I want to stay close to the one who satisfies. And this word davak in Hebrew is one of my all-time favorite words. In fact, almost 20 years ago, I had it laser engraved on cedar wood, and it's mounted in our kitchen right now. Cling to him. It just means to abide, to hold fast, to be joined together. The root is like glue, adhere. To grab on with all that you've got. I will not let go. My favorite phrase in all of its definitions is this: to resist separation. Cling. Picture is one of closeness, of oneness, of communion. Okay, union. How does David commune with God? How does he cling? How does he stay close? Well, he says he thinks about him as he lays down. I'm going to remember you on my bed, in the cave. I'm going to meditate on you through the watches of the night. David's saying, more important than sleep is thinking about you. Which is amazing, right? He's scrambling for his life all day long. He's got to be exhausted when his head hits that rock. And he's going, no. What I need more than that, what's most vital, ahead of renewing my body, is renewing my mind. It's not time to pass out yet. Not time for Netflix. No screens in my bedroom, David says. I need the Lord. First in my day, last in my day. Like his mind could have just started racing with all the things he needed to do the next day, right? He's in survival mode, man. And he goes, no. I'm going to cast those cares and actively steer my thoughts to the Lord. Meditate. It means in the Hebrew to murmur, to mutter. Remember, Israelites didn't carry around a Bible with them. They didn't have the scriptures in a book, right? So they would hear it. How do you memorize it? Well, you walk around like an actress rehearsing her lines all day. Try to internalize that truth. That's what it means. Try to get this in me. The root of this word hagah means to chew the cud. Okay, that's what a cow would do. Like, I'm going to chew on this. Break it down so that I can digest it. See, this is not fleeting, quick, pass in, pass out kind of thoughts with a ping pong brain. This is dwelling, staying, brewing on, marinating in, so that the juices of this truth can penetrate and break down my hard heart. That's how he's clinging to the Lord. Specifically, he rehearses how God's been his help, how he's joyfully protected under his wings like a baby bird in an eagle nest. Okay, he's reciting scripture to remember God's love historically, but he's also like remembering his love personally, right? And he replays that, and all that's doing is fueling his praise, adding gas to the fire as he fixes his mind on the love of the Lord. As he does, he says, you uphold me, right? You keep me from collapsing when I'm fainting. Literally, you sustain me. So as I hold on to you, you hold me together. And so he ends verse 9 through 11. But those who seek to destroy my life shall go down into the depths of the earth. They shall be given over to the power of the sword. They shall be a portion for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. All who swear by the Lord shall exult. For the mouth of liars will be stopped. Not how I saw the song ending. A bit of a left turn there, David, right? Yeah, not exactly our Well Kids memory verse for the month right there. But all he's doing is taking a moment to remember the end outcome, okay? Despite all the trouble now, this will in fact be good in the end. The Lord will triumph, and so I can stay the course and keep clinging today. This is an important tactic, y'all. Preaching to ourselves the two paths. One that leads to destruction and one to joy. And he rehearses that, right? Like those who oppose the Lord and are hunting David down, it won't end well. God won't be mocked. What's in the dark will come to the light eventually, whether this life or on Judgment Day. And so David says, I don't have to take justice into my own hands. I don't have to defend myself. And I'm not going to give up and seek immediate relief, because their mouths will be shut and my mouth will praise. I know how the story ends. We will be with you again. Right? That's what he's saying. The desert isn't my destination. No, heaven is my home. And so, y'all, Psalm 63, let's just recap this. It's just this stunning statement for us that you can be satisfied in survival mode. Okay? You can be well-watered even in the wilderness. Let me make it an equation for us. Seeking plus singing plus staying equals satisfied. In a dry and weary land, this is how we are quenched with the love that's better than life. And that brings us to our main point. Because the Lord's love alone will satisfy, we must earnestly seek him, joyfully praise him, and persistently cling to him. We're going to look at all three of those, but let's first start where David starts. Is God your God? Okay. Is Jesus your Lord? If not, the rest is obsolete, like seeking satisfaction. No, that doesn't matter if you're not saved, if there's not a surrendering to him as your God. Another way to say this is, do you actually know this love? Have you experienced the wonder of him forgiving you? It's better than life, that love that paid for your life at the cross. Like while we were still enemies and in our sin, Jesus willingly climbed up and was nailed for our penalty. There's no greater love than that. No better treasure than that. And so, man, if there's never been a moment where you've stopped and you've made that confession, God, you are my God, then pray Psalm 63 right now. Okay, Lord, this is my moment. I want you to be my God. I surrender. I know that you're what my soul is really longing for, not these other things that I keep running to that leave me dissatisfied. Ultimately, I need you, and I confess it now. My sin has put me in a dry and weary wasteland. Would you save me? Would you forgive me? Would you refresh me with the water of your love? And just pray that today. Call out to him, and he will answer and fill you. You will be satisfied. Now, for those of us who have, just because that's happened doesn't mean we're out of the wilderness, right? No, life this side of heaven is still hard. And so maybe today you feel that distress that David feels. You're depleted, you're low resources. Maybe there's a dryness in your soul, or your marriage, or your friendships, or with God. Maybe you feel that desert of addiction that's just like grabbing you and you can't beat it or get out of it. Maybe it's a work desert. Maybe it's a body image desert. Maybe it's a friendship desert. Maybe the desert of grief, and there's just sorrow and emotional pain, and you feel unsafe, or you feel unloved. Maybe you're transitioning right now in life, and it's just easy for you to feel lonely or go, where do I fit? There's a lot of ways that we can feel the wilderness. We've got to ask ourselves, how are we trying to survive it? What are we earnestly seeking? What are we running to quench? Because the wilderness can drive you to him or away from him. David gives us the 4 things that we need. So let's end just refreshing ourselves on these. Number 1, valuing God supremely. His love's better than life. We got to assess our priorities in survival mode. And what's first, what I need above anything else, no, my brain and my body and my passions are going to say, run over here, right? That's what the dashboard of your life is going to say is top priority. And we've got to preach to ourselves and declare like David, no, what I need, I have a higher need for the better treasure, the love of God. Plain and simple, nothing else is going to satisfy. Horizontal hits walls, okay? I was reading this week, Paul David Tripp, and he made this quote. He said, I would sit in counseling, and a wife would say to me, all I ever wanted was a man who would make me happy. And I would think, that poor man's cooked. Because he didn't have a prayer of producing what she's longing for. He can never satisfy that, right? Marriage, your kids, your job, your resume, your vacation, whatever validation you get from people will never be enough. Even good things, gospel community, will not satisfy you. You'll be thirsty for more and more. And so let's look at ourselves here and do a little analyzing. This is what I always love to ask, where am I saying if only? If only blank, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be at peace. Then I'll find relief. Where are you saying that? And then I would also look, what are your early morning actions saying? Okay, what are those first thoughts, first minutes, first actions of the day asserting that you value supremely? If it's not the love of God, man, let's just start this morning by confessing that, Lord, I'm not valuing you first. And then we can just say, Lord, help me. Help me feel what I ought to. Help me see the emptiness and the futility and frustration of these other things, that you are better. And if I'm loved by you, then who cares about anything else? And then we could pray like Paul in Ephesians 3, God, help me know your love more, the height, the breadth, the length, and the depth of your love. Right? A love that surpasses even head knowledge, he says, so that we would be filled, satisfied with the fullness of God. if we're not valuing his love supremely, it probably means we haven't learned it yet, right? And there's acres and acres and acres more of his love to explore. So, just ask him, Lord, keep showing me that, or reminding me, maybe we've forgotten. And from there, it's straightforward for the next three. As the band comes up, number 2 is just seeking God earnestly. My soul thirsts for you, right? First light, early and often, go to where God is. Maybe it's the sanctuary here with God's people. Maybe it's gospel community. Maybe it's the prayer closet. Maybe it's opening the word. Maybe it's praise in the car, right? When you wake are you on your knees? When you go to bed at night, are you chewing on his truth? I need to get where God is. Above water, above shelter, I need you first. If your love really is better than life, then I want to immerse myself in it. So let's ask ourselves, are you seeking God earnestly? We're seeking something to make the wilderness better. What is it? Number 3, praising God joyfully. So my soul is satisfied in you. Man, this dude is praising in the pit. Are we? Right? Exact opposite of Israel, grumbling in the wilderness. No, he's drenching this song in praise, a conscious choice. I will, regardless of what's going on, because I have the love of God. Is this you, man? Are you proactively choosing to sing? Is it coming out of your mouth? Are you engaging your body? Is your heart meaning the things that you're saying? I'm going to worship in the wilderness because he's worthy, whether I feel it or not. Are you taking your soul to what it's thirsting for? Maybe the flatness you feel, let's say it this way, maybe the flatness that you have in praise is keeping your soul flat. Blocking that very supply of the satisfaction you need. And if you would just push through and just go, I'm going to choose to praise because he's worthy, maybe the pipes will open. The pleasure of God's amazing love will start drenching you. I think this psalm is really helpful because there's no petition in the psalm. There's a time to ask God for our needs. That was last week's psalm. We saw it over and over in the Psalms. They ask God. But there is no petition in this one. There's also a time where we just say, you know what, soul, just sit and adore him. Just soak in his goodness. Just absorb the wonder of his love for a moment. And so then last, number 4, we can cling to God persistently. My soul clings to you. Stay close to you. Because listen, the desert can disorient you really fast. And in a moment, you jump ship and you turn paths and you start making bad decisions the other direction. So I need to stay the course. Help me hold on to you, Lord, and not go elsewhere. Are you taking time to meditate? How's your thought life? Are you holding on to the one who's holding on to you? When you do that and when you really fix your thoughts on his love, it is like a big gulp for your soul, you guys. And it glues you, it fixes you to him as we resist separation. Church, let's pray. Let's go to him right now, that we would thirst for him, be satisfied in him, cling to him. God, you are our God. And we just recognize right now that our hearts are crying out for you. That everything we feel this morning, anything else that's at the surface of what we're longing for, we know deep down, whatever comfort or relief or approval or peace or love or romance or pleasure, it's you that we need. It's you and you alone that can quench that. And so we run to you right now. Help us to earnestly seek you. Help us to praise you even when we don't feel it. Would you right now, as we choose to sing to you, because you're worthy and your love is better than life, God, help us to actually believe that and see that and feel that as we choose to praise. Would you unleash your Holy Spirit? Fill us, satisfy us. God, we cling to you right now for the sake of your name, your power and your glory and your goodness in us. Amen.